Some betrayals don't announce themselves with a kiss. They start with a glance that lasts 1 second too long. The wind caught me off guard that morning, standing barefoot on my Georgia porch, coffee growing cold in my trembling hand. The air carried that dangerous chill between night and day, the kind of moment where the world holds its breath, waiting. Then I saw him, my daughter's husband. Our eyes locked. One breath. Two. Neither of us moved. What happened next changed everything. My name's Marianne. I'm 58 years old, and I've learned that the loudest screams are the ones nobody hears. This White House used to echo with promises. My husband swore forever here. 26 years of forever. Until 2 years ago, when he decided forever had an expiration date. He found his space in someone young enough to be his daughter. I didn't chase him. I just stopped breathing for a while. Drop a heart if you know what betrayal feels like. My daughter married young, 8 years ago, right here in this yard, under string lights that made everything look magical. Her husband seemed kind then, gentle, full of dreams. They visited every Sunday, laughter, noise, life. Now, just silence. He still visits, but she doesn't come anymore. Work, he says. Deadlines. Always something. But I see the truth in his eyes. That hollow look of someone clinging to ashes, pretending they're still warm. Have you ever seen that look in someone's eyes? Comment below. Let me know I'm not alone in this. Morning. His voice that day was casual, but his hand shook. I pulled my robe tighter, my heart hammering against my ribs. "You're early," I whispered, even though I hadn't expected him at all. He smiled, that nervous, half-broken smile. "Your back porch light's out. Thought I'd fix it." A lie. I never told anyone about that light. But here's the thing about lies. Sometimes we want to believe them. Sometimes we need to. I stepped aside. The way he walked past me, close, careful, deliberate. It didn't just change the air in that room. It changed something deep inside my chest. Something I thought had died 2 years ago. He replaced the bulb. We talked about weather, work, the weight of loneliness. And when he left, the silence wasn't peaceful anymore. It was hungry. Where are you listening from? Come at your city and country blow. I want to know the story is reaching you wherever you are. That night, I stood in front of my bedroom mirror, not studying wrinkles or gray hair, but searching for what he saw. What did he see in me? And God help me, why did I want him to see more? He returned 2 days later. Another excuse. Another beautiful lie. The fence latch needs fixing. I didn't question it. I craved the lie like oxygen. We sat in my kitchen. The clock ticked like a countdown. The air grew thick with unspoken words. Then he asked, so quietly I almost didn't hear, "Are you okay?" Such a simple question, but it shattered something inside me that had been barely holding together. "I'm fine," I lied. We both knew the truth. He looked down at his coffee. Sometimes I look at her and she's somewhere I can't reach anymore, like she's behind glass. I hesitated, my voice barely a whisper. Marriage does that. It turns love into memory before you notice it's gone. His smile was sad, soft, devastating. And in that moment, we understood each other too well. When he reached for his mug, his hand brushed mine, just for a second, but that was enough. Enough to change everything. Type, I felt that, if you've ever had a moment that changed your entire world. The mailbox hinge, the leaky faucet, the loose floorboard. Then the excuses stopped. He came just because. Sometimes he brought coffee, sometimes flowers, never explanations. We talked about how days blend together when you're alone too long, how silence can feel like both comfort and prison, how you can forget what it's like to be seen until someone looks at you again. And I realized something terrifying. I didn't want the conversations to end. One golden evening, as sunset poured through my kitchen window, He set down his coffee cup and said the words that would haunt me forever. I think about you more than I should. My pulse thundered in my throat. The room froze. Do you think about her when you're here? I asked, my voice breaking. He looked away. I try to. The air between us thickened. The kind of silence that dares you to cross a line you can never uncross. He lifted his hand, hesitated, waiting. I didn't move closer, but I didn't move away either. Sometimes that's where betrayal begins. Not in what you do, but in what you let happen. After that night, nothing was the same. His visit stretched from minutes to hours. We sat on the porch watching light fade, pretending the world outside didn't exist. He asked about my garden, my dreams, the woman I used to be before I became invisible to her. And I told him stories I buried for years, stories of laughter that once filled these walls, of a husband who used to make me feel alive before he stopped looking altogether. He listened, really listened, like every word mattered, like I mattered. There's something dangerous about being seen after years of being a ghost in your own life. I started noticing everything. The way he ran his hair through his hair when nervous, the way his voice softened when he said my name, the way his presence filled rooms that used to suffocate me with emptiness. It wasn't love, not yet, but it was close enough to burn. One rainy evening, the world outside blurred into gray. He told me about his childhood, his father leaving, the promises he swore he'd never break. His voice cracked and I saw it. The boy he used to be. The man trying desperately not to repeat old mistakes. Sometimes I think, she's already gone. Just forgot to leave. The honesty in his eyes hurt because I knew exactly what that felt like. When he stood to go, the porch light flickered. The same one he'd fixed the day this all began. Good night, he said softly. But it didn't sound like good night. It sounded like a question neither of us could ask. I didn't sleep that night. I lay awake listening to rain, thinking about how easily forbidden things start. Not with a kiss, not with words, but with a moment you don't stop soon enough. I wanted to believe I could control it, that I could hold the line, stay strong, but loneliness whispers lies you want to believe. It's heartless. It's just conversation. No one needs to know. Until one day you realize it's already too late. The next morning I found an envelope on my porch. No name, no note, just a single white daisy inside. I held it for a long time, long enough to feel both crushing guilt and something far more dangerous. Because I knew what it meant. It wasn't a gift. It was a confession. And when I pressed that flower between the pages of an old book, I admitted something I didn't want to face. I wasn't waiting for him to stop coming. I was waiting for him to come back. Some stories don't begin with choices. They begin with a moment we never meant to notice and can never forget. A glance that lasts too long, a touch that means too much, a silence that says everything. This is where my story begins. Where it ends? That's still unwritten. If this story moved you, if you felt every word in your chest, if you've ever stood at the edge of a choice you couldn't take back, drop a comment with your city and country. Let me know you're out there. Let me know I'm not alone. And if you want to hear what happens next, if you need to know how this story ends, hit that subscribe button, because part 2 is coming, and trust me, you won't see it coming. Some moments change everything. This was mine. What was yours?